Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Mac Outdoors with Mia and Lea. This week we'll be talking about getting outdoors, and this month is shooting month, so stay tuned.
This summer, whether you're at the range or in the field, WSI Sports' Hypertech bamboo tanks, tees, and leggings will have you covered. Visit WSISports.com and use Leah's affiliate code, LLCO10 for 10% off your purchase. All products are proudly made in the USA. WSI is bringing back pride in American-made clothing. Again, that code is LLCO10 for 10% off your order at WSISports.com.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Mac Outdoors podcast, where a dynamic mother-daughter duo share their adventures, tips, and advice. I am Mia, and I'll be accompanied by the one and only daughter, Lea. It is time to get to outdoors, hunt, shoot, and spend time with family and friends. Let's get this show on the road. Hey guys, welcome back to another week with Mac Outdoors with Mia and Lea. We're happy that you're here, and we hope that you will subscribe before you go if you haven't already. Lea said we're going to be sharing some outdoor fun with you and also talk about National Shooting Sports Month. And so, Lea, what are we going to start off with?
So, it's National Shooting Sports Month, so that is a huge deal for everyone who loves to shoot. And there are so many ways you can get involved in this. And the NSSF has done an awesome giveaway if you post pictures of you getting outside or just out shooting in general and share your pictures with all of us. You can use the hashtag letsgoshooting and share your pictures on social media, and you could be entered in a giveaway that the NSSF is putting on.
That sounds like a lot of fun to me, Lea, because as you know, I love going out and shooting targets or teaching people to shoot. So have you gotten to go out and do any shooting lately, or have you entered the contest by posting any pictures yet?
I have not entered the contest yet, but we go shoot at the indoor range every week. We get the little target games. We've played Battleship and Pool and just a couple other fun games that the range offers. And we've shot the 6.5 Creedmoor and 22s. So we've gone all over the spectrum with shooting. And soon I'll be shooting my bow. So that falls under the category for shooting, I think. I haven't gotten to go outside, but I definitely have gone shooting at the range.
That's super cool. I'm glad that you've gotten to go shoot a little bit. And I think that it's cool that they have some games that you can kind of play while you shoot targets. Those games that you're talking about, is it like a layout on the target, or how does that work?
Yeah, it's basically a giant paper target, and they'll have two sections, one on the top, one on the bottom for Battleship, and they'll both have ships with big red dots, which is when you would hit or miss. And when we play, we did it with the 22, so you had to hit in the red because there's also a little white circle around there. But we like to make it a little more challenging, so we just did sitting when we shot at 50 yards, and it was a lot of fun. And whenever you missed, you switched, and if you hit, you just kept going. So it was a lot of fun. And with Pool, it's also a giant target, and there's solids and stripes, and you have to hit each ball in order with the least amount of shots. And we of course made this one more challenging by you have to hit the number in the center of the ball at 50 yards sitting with the 22. So it was a lot of fun. We're always very competitive. So sometimes it'll last a minute, and sometimes we'll be there all day because we're getting so frustrated because we want to beat each other, but it's always a lot of fun to be out there.
That sounds like good fun and a great way to spend an afternoon with a friend or with a significant other. So, you guys listening, if you haven't gotten to get out to the range yet and you want to learn how to shoot, you can contact local ranges and ask them if there are any classes offered. Or if you have a friend that has guns, you can ask them if you can attend a range day with them. We always love it when friends ask us or invite themselves to come shoot with us. It's always a great thing. And partly why I like that, Leah, is because I can teach them the proper ways of shooting as well as teach them safety rules because, as you know, that's so important.
Yes, I love taking new people or people that have shot before but haven't in a long time. It's a lot of fun to also get people out of their comfort zone. A lot of my friends here have only shot rifles, and so I tell them, let's go shoot shotguns. And they'll be like, well, I've shot once or twice maybe, but I've never shot clays. I've only gone hunting. So it's always a lot of fun to encourage them to get out there. And of course, I love coaching shotgun. So it's enjoyable for me to watch their progress.
That's really cool. I think it's neat that you like to see others progressing. Some people are so competitive that they really don't even care about other people. So it's encouraging that you like to see others doing a good job and learning as well. That's a really great quality.
Yes.
One thing that I wanted to share with our listeners before we get to a break or anything is that when you go to the range, something that you should be doing if you're the one taking a guest is you need to teach them the safety rules. So I'd like to reiterate those to everybody so that you remember that you need to always treat every gun as if it's loaded, even if you know that it's not. Most incidents with firearms occur, and the people, when they're giving a report or a recount of what happened, they say, I thought it was unloaded. So you need to treat them as though they're loaded all the time, even if you know or think you know that it's not unloaded.
Always keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot, because sometimes a trigger could be light, and so if you're not ready and you accidentally tap it and it goes off, that is not a good thing, which is also why you always keep it in a safe direction, as we just said. So that is one very important one.
Yeah, and so in a safe direction, if you're treating the gun as though it's loaded, that means you want to do number 3, which is keep the muzzle pointed in a safe direction. And that's just important all the time, is always keep it downrange, always keep it, if you're in your house or something like that, you need to be aware of what's on the other side of a wall. I actually had an experience recently where I was indoors at a house sitting on the couch and somebody outside was walking by and had the muzzle pointed toward the house the whole way. And yeah, they couldn't see me, but guess what? I was sitting on the couch inside, so the muzzle was pointed directly at me. So you really have to be aware of your surroundings and keep that muzzle pointed in a safe direction. That leads me to rule number 4. Do you remember what rule number 4 is?
So rule number 4 is always be aware of your target and what's beyond. And this is a huge one in shotgun shooting a lot, especially with hunting. Sometimes you're so focused on the bird that you lose your background. And if you're hunting with a partner or 2 or 3, if you swing and you get into their area, then you're going to be in their way, or they're going to get shot with all your BBs shooting at this bird. So it's always good to be aware of your shooting zone and how far you can swing either way, depending on how many partners you're with.
Yep. So always be aware of the target and what is beyond. And that's something actually Leah and I did NRA tips and tactics. We did the videos for NRA women. And one of our videos was kind of about shooting zones. And we used a big game hunting scenario because you don't want to be shooting from behind another hunter. You want to make sure you're in front. So that's a different type of shooting zone, but that's something that you can watch as well. We'll put a link in our show notes so you can go and check out those NRA tips and tactics videos if you'd like.
I think too, with big game hunting, a huge one is shooting an animal that's on top of a ridge silhouetted. you can't see what's behind your target. So that is something a lot of people don't think of because, oh, there's nothing behind it, so it's fine. But you never know what's on the other side of that hill.
Right. And you just mentioned that you guys were shooting a 6.5 Creedmoor, and those bullets, when they are flying, they go fast, and you can probably have a complete pass through on an animal. So you don't know where that bullet's going to go if it doesn't have a backstop behind it. So that's a really good tip, Leah. And while you were talking about that one, I thought of another, as far as target and beyond, another area where we sometimes get tunnel vision is if you have a big game animal, a deer or an elk in your sights, in your scope, you sometimes don't see what's going on around it. And there may be another, if you have a bull in your crosshairs, a cow may be walking behind him, and you don't want to shoot him if she's behind him. So always know what's beyond the target. So those are just some of our tips for getting outside for the National Shooting Sports Foundation's Shooting Sports Month. And don't forget to share your pictures on social media to be entered in their contest. Leah, what's that hashtag again?
It's hashtag letsgoshooting.
All right. I look forward to seeing some pictures, and hold on, we'll be right back after these words from my friend Lloyd.
Hey, this is Lloyd Bailey, the Armed Lutheran, host of the Armed Lutheran Radio podcast, reminding you that the podcast you're listening to is a proud member of the Self-Defense Radio Network. Check out all the great content at selfdefenseradio.net.
Welcome back, guys, and thanks to my friend Lloyd for that little word of affiliation here. If you haven't gone over to listen to Armed Lutheran Radio, I do a little 5-minute tip over there pretty much once a week. So you can have a listen to that. It's a lot of fun when you listen to the whole episode. It's a great show. But Leah, we love getting outside, and we always tell people that you need to get outside. It's something that really makes me happy and makes my body feel better if I can get away from the desk and just get outdoors. Have you had any opportunities to get outside lately?
Well, of course I go to rodeos all the time, but that I don't think is the same as getting to be out in the mountains. But as a lot of people know, there's a lot of fires around the West. There's one close to where I'm at now in Montana, so it's been really smoky lately. I wanted to go hiking this week, and it's just been so smoky you can't even see the mountains. So I decided against that, but I have taken the dogs to the pond down here in town, so that's as much as I've gotten out, but I have got to see a turtle out there and the fish in the pond and all the little ducks, so it's been really enjoyable, even though I haven't gotten to get way out in the mountains.
I think that's awesome that you're using the dogs as an excuse to get outside, because that is a great reason to get outside, because they need to go and tour around and get out of the backyard too. And I also think that it's great that you mentioned something while you were talking about that, and that's the things that you saw out there. That's something I think a lot of people miss. They go on a little walk and they don't notice the animals or the birds and things like that are outdoors. So to you guys that are listening, that's something that I challenge you is to share with us on social media or in the messengers, and we'll give you the links at the end of the show, but show us like the things you find out there. I actually shared a really crazy thing. Actually, I kind of share crazy things all the time on my Snapchat, huh, Leah?
Yes.
But I shared a really crazy thing this morning on my Snapchat, and I also put it on my Instagram story, but it's really fun to share the incredible things you find in the outdoors.
And there's so many things you never would imagine finding out there, like the find you had this morning, and just the fun things you see. Even when I was out at the pond, the little kids that were walking around and so excited to just find a pine cone or a little leaf or a stick, and just the imagination these little kids have out getting outside and seeing all these things. It's always a lot of fun.
I actually saw an article this week that was about how to get your kids to stop playing video games. And you talking about this just brought it to mind, because my thought when I saw that was, don't buy them the video games, but also make them go outside. If you're a parent, tell your kids to go outside. Leah, did we not make you go outside to play or make you go work in the stalls? Or, I mean, you did all these things, and it really broadened your horizons, and you saw a lot of things that maybe some kids wouldn't if they were just inside on their phones or playing video games, right?
Right. And I think it's just so much more fun, and you get to have more of an imagination. I don't think I ever really wanted to sit inside. I know sitting inside now drives me crazy, and with my back and having to kind of stay low and hang out, it's been tough because I always have grown up, going out, and I remember finding leaves that I liked when we would go in the mountains and all the fun stuff we always did. And so I think those are the memories. As a lot of people say, those are always the memories you're going to have, not the days you're playing video games and stuff like that. So I definitely encourage everyone to always get outside and have fun out there. Like, have an imagination when you're out there. And everywhere I go, I always think, I wonder what this looked like back in the Old West when covered wagons were coming across here.
Yeah, and that's something I think about all the time also, is I wonder what it was like 100 years ago, or what the people thought when they saw it, when they were the first ones to see this place or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's very cool. And I don't know if the dogs that you're taking out, if they're hunting dogs, but it's the time of year to get in shape for hunting, and that's not just people. I mean, I'm getting in shape for my archery hunt, and I've been running and shooting and pulling my bow and doing a lot of work around the ranch too. But you have to get your dogs in shape because waterfowl season will begin in September. So that's not far off. So you got to get the dogs in shape too, get them outside.
Yes.
So guys, we hope that you've got some good ideas. Maybe you can get out to the shooting range, or maybe you can get outside and explore, but we hope that you will share that with us and give us some ideas of what you're doing in your neck of the woods on our social media outlets.
You can get a hold of us on our Instagram, Mia Anstine and Lea_Huntress. You can also reach out on our Facebook. There's Mac Outdoors and Mia Anstine Legit Outdoors to see my rodeo photography, and also on Twitter. I'm not on there as much, but I know my mom is, because she's kind of a big deal on there. If you have any questions, comments, stories, feel free to share them with us. We'd love to hear them. Thanks for tuning in this week, and we hope to have you join us next week.